Alright, boys and girls, I am back, sporting a new mic, testing out, trying to get this YouTube thing official. Took a little bit of a break, but I'm back and we're out here at Eastway. We're going to play the Beastway layout. Got a hole one. I don't even know how long it is, to be honest. Hole one, 261 feet up there on the left. Eastway is kind of a funny course. I don't really do well here during tournaments. I think my best here is maybe 6 or 7 down, probably more 6 or 5. They're all scoreable though, so I just got to put something together and we can do well. But we'll start off with the gateway blade, a little forehand popper at her. Now let's just get right to it. I didn't throw at all, I haven't putted at all, so I'm just hopping right to it. And why would I when I could throw like that? Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. That's gonna roll. Okay. That's not bad. Can't expect much. I am gonna go ahead and throw a backhand because the next hole requires a pretty decent backhand. So I'll just go Warlock. Actually, you know what? Let's just do Warlock. Something nice and straight. I'm trying something new. I'm working on like actually bracing. It's been pretty helpful. I haven't really gone full power or anything just yet, but just trying to get the feel for it. And pretty short. Look at it. I might do one more just to kind of get that loosened up. It won't count. We'll play that first one. Go element just to give it a little bit more. What I am noticing is I'm getting some audible snap when I'm throwing though, so which is I think a good sign. And yeah, just nestle right in there. Still not a clean look, but a look nonetheless. And while we're walking up to the discs, I just wanted to shout out and thank everybody who's followed so far. I haven't really been posting a ton of content to start off, but I appreciate you guys supporting and liking and subscribing and commenting and all that fun stuff. I'm still kind of getting used to the whole YouTube thing, but it's been fun. I like making content, so I figured why not? All the cool people are doing YouTube, so I want to be cool too, I guess. But anyway, just want to shout you guys out. Appreciate you. Stay tuned for more, I suppose, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I get it. Anyway, here's that blade. Trying to set you up right. Let's put you right here. So the blade shot, not too bad. Kind of a long putt to start, but why not knock a big one down to get the things going, right? Nice confidence putt right to start. That wasn't very confident at all. All right, let's get one more. Like I said, I didn't warm up or anything. That one at least had a chance, but it's all right. Par's cool, whatever. All right. A little bit of a comebacker, but honestly, not a big deal. I'm learning to trust my comebackers. I just gotta putt confidently. I don't remember which one it was, so I'll just go ahead and do both. One, two. Just so we're not confused on which one it was. It was a par either way. Alright, hole 2, nothing like a big bomber on your second hole. Right off the bat, I'm going to try some fun stuff, but I'm going to do my normal play, which is a gateway realm. This one's slightly beat in, so try and pump it out a little right, let it fade back into the middle. Something like that. Yeah, that plays. I do have 2 spears. I do love me some spears. My homie got me this one out of the warehouse. It's a nice metal flake. I've been throwing this glow one, just kind of wanted to compare them. So let's go metal flake first, and then we'll go with the diamond super glow second. That might be in the bush. It is in the bush. Okay. I didn't really get a good rip on that one, but here's Old Faithful. That thing just goes. Yeah, that's a crush. And no discs left behind here. It is pretty though, isn't it? Alright, so realm and spear are right next to each other. I got realm right here. I'm not sure if it's in frame, but spear's right here. I'll toss this back because we're going to play the realm. That was the first shot, it's only fair. I don't know if I have the basket in frame, but kind of right next to this big ass tree right here. I'm going to try and get a midi there, but you know, if I land a little short, whatever. This one I'm usually taking par on anyway. But that looks pretty good actually. Yeah. Depending on how well that sat, I should be putting for birdie. Alright, so we're going to test the capabilities of this mic, but it's a long look. It's on an elevated basket. I'm kind of on the other side of this. Definitely makeable, but it's kind of like a scary bit, I guess. But you know what? Just for funsies, let's run it. I got a little tree in my way though. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Not this one. This was my second shot. Oh, that's brutal. Well, okay. It's kind of what you get for running stuff you probably shouldn't, but bogey it is. So on to hole 3. Basket's definitely not in frame. It's a par 4 around the corner. It is 585 feet. My normal play is to go blade, flat, let it fade. I've seen people do like a buzz, neutral 5-speed on some hyzer to kind of get around that. I'll try that for a second shot just for fun. It's something I've never really tried, but I'd rather just pump a blade flat and let it do the thing. And just like this. Yeah, I mean, like, why would I stray away from that? But why not? So this is my element. It's pretty beat up, so we'll see what this thing does when I try to have a pushing hyzer on it. I probably could have done a little bit more hyzer. It ended up being okay. It's a little bit further than I want to be because sometimes when you go a little far, it kind of cuts your angle off a little bit. A little bit more hyzer might have been helpful there, but let's see where we got. All right, so we got our blade right here. Kind of, well, I'm throwing forehand down the hill most of the time anyway, so it's not too bad. Element, let me see if it'll actually show you what I'm talking about, but you see how this fairway kind of tightens up over here. If you go a little too far, not the best like options, I guess. So I typically like to be on the left side of this tree. Unfortunately, I pushed it a little bit longer, but you know what, we're all right. It's just a little forehand down there. And just trying to get the birdie, make up for the last hole. I'd like to think a mid-range would be better, but the thing is, if I go a little bit too long, there's water down there, automatic bogey most of the time. So I'm gonna try and just do the double hawk nice and flat, maybe a little ante, have it kind of pan down there, and this thing usually sits pretty well. So I like that a lot. Oh, and it hit the one tree. That was sliding up to the basket. That would have been what I like to think pretty good, but seems like it's starting out like one of those days where you kind of hit the things you don't need to and the putts don't go in. Alright, so a little bit of a death putt. I mean, not horrible. Just don't go long, but it's a downhill floater. I like those. I'm gonna try and put, like, I don't know, maybe keep it flat. See if we can it. That's barely safe. Let's try something more like that. And that's not safe either. Alright. So here we go, hole 4. Another blind shot. I think it's a turnover. I have more success with the turnover, I should say. I think forehand is probably like the better option, but I either go 2 inside or go 2 straight. I've been not so locked in on that distance. So we're gonna go Warlock turnover and we'll see what ends up happening. Plus I like throwing turnovers, they're more fun. And like that, I feel like it's pretty good. It should have started panning out. It might be on the right side, but it's around the corner at least. So yeah, that was obviously the right choice. I got like a 20-footer for birdie. Should be able to knock a quick bird down. Just gotta make sure I commit on my putts, because sometimes I like to fluff them like a dingus, but let's get that confidence real quick. Yep, you love to see it. It's a good birdie. It's kind of a tough birdie for me most of the time. For some reason, I just like, I don't know, I've doubled this hole, being stupid. Warlock turnover, it takes thinking out of it. All right, hole 5, a little water shot, 292, backhand hyzer, fading left, kind of uphill, not very much, but kind of. I'm gonna go Gateway Warrior, kind of pump it flat, trust the fade. Very sneaky backdoor route. Kind of pushed it a little bit more right than I intended to, but gotta look. And just as quickly as bogeys can come, birdies can come. So that backdoor route kind of pushed me back here behind this tree. I hope I'm in frame. I can't even see you. Yeah, maybe not. But nonetheless, you can see the disc in the basket. Because why not, right? Just watch that back. Definitely not in frame. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. But yeah, good bird. We're back to even right now with some scoreable holes coming up, so feeling good about it. Definitely a little bit easier next 2 or 3. This next one's one of my favorite shots here. It's just a close, I don't know, close to 300 feet tunnel shot. And let's see, I say close to 300, 267. I'm so bad at distances, it's not even funny. I just go off disc. Feels like a mid, feels like a putter, feels like a distance driver. And that's how I like to keep it simple. All right, so my first mishap, thought I was recording, ended up not being. Piped 2 shots, parked them, realized I'm not recording. I'm a man of cinema, I gotta do it again. Gateway Warlock, 267, straight tunnel shot. This is the only disc I would ever throw on this. And I'll show you exactly why. I mean, pipe. So as you can see, pretty ideal. Would have been a cool ace. Any ace is a cool ace, but this one especially. I mean, it was right on mine. But birdie nonetheless. We're back to 1 under. Okie dokie. Hole 7, 280 feet. Slightly right. I'm gonna go with a Kevin Padre blade. These things are pretty overstable. Might try to get it flat to slight ante, let it dive in there. Just want to hit the gap really. Pretty much just like that. Hit something at the very end. You know, trees are gonna tree, so let's see what we got. And that's what we're left with. Kind of having some slight flashbacks of hole 3. I can give it a run. If I miss, maybe be able to save the par. But the idea behind that is let's just not miss, right? Okay, just like that. Let's not miss. That's a good putt. All right, hole 8. This one I'm never really sure what to throw. I'm gonna try 2 things. One, I'm gonna do like what I normally do. It's pretty much an overstable forehand chop. It's that same blade. And then I'll try like the hyzer flip up the middle with the element. This one seems to be the most safe play for me, most of the time at least. But it could also go very horribly wrong, so. If it gets around that, okay. That's not terrible. I feel like I didn't release it how I wanted to, but anyway. It's up there. And then here's our hyzer flip up the middle with the element. Maybe less hyzer would have been better. Okay. So the flex forehand did not look great, but it's not a bad spot. We just made a nice big putt, so I feel like we could do it again. Okay. It can be done, but we'll take a par. We're still sitting 2 down. All right, on to hole 9. It is a slight hyzer, fading left. It is 265 feet, and it can be kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say tricky. If you hit this first tree, I mean, that's on me. That's not the way the hole was intended to be played. So we're gonna go hyzer through this little middle gap with a warrior and try to get another birdie. Something like that, just like that. I mean, like a dream. Here's what we're left with. It might be behind the tree, but let's take every inch we can get. A little Carolina flip. Cool. So we're now 3 down through 9. That's pretty good, considering bogey 2 on a bogey on 2 and a bogey on 3. We cleaned up pretty well, and now we're back decently under par. Nothing crazy. All right, on to hole 10. 262 foot, little turnover. Sometimes I'll do forehand on this, but honestly, I've just been loving doing turnovers with the Warlock lately. It just feels like a no-brainer. And yeah, I have messed this shot up plenty of times, but today is not that day, so I'm gonna try and aim for this like little skinny tree straight ahead on some ante. Let the disc do its work. Pretty much just like that, with a little tree kick. I think that's okay still. Let's see what we got left. All right, so even with the kind of not so fun tree kick, this is still within my comfortable range of putting. I'd say maybe 25 feet, maybe. We'll count it after we make it. Yeah, easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so maybe that was a little edge of circle putt. If you treat your edge of circle putts like 20, 25 foot putt, 20, 25 foot putts, I mean, you can't miss. All right, so we are cruising right along. We're actually at 4 under now with that made putt. We're at hole 11, 235 feet. It's pretty downhill, but it also comes back uphill. You're still ending up downhill. Just gotta hit this tight little, not really tight, this little tunnel gap. Shouldn't even think about it. Has something on like a pushing hyzer or something flat. Let it fade. I'm gonna go with this Evo Warlock on some slight hyzer. Just let the disc do its thing. You know, I kind of hit that tree almost every time, but the par's fine. Let's go one more with, you know what, let's go Warrior. I usually just try to stay with the putter, but I think an overstable 9 or 5 speed is fine too. Ooh, okay. Jump in. Woo! That was close. That was fun. Okay. Skipped a mile though. All right, so here is where we're at after a little tree kick to the right. Kind of another long one, a little uphill. The putter's been feeling good today, so I'm gonna run it, because why not? Nobody wants to see layups on channels. And it's kind of a safe run too, so no harm, no foul in my opinion. I'm trying to aim for the top band, let the wizard fall in. Okay. Let's try one more. A little bit more gusto. A little bit lepto. Alright. Don't try this at home. I'm not a professional. I don't know, Joseph makes it look so easy. I don't even know if I'm like catching it on camera because I'm trying not to look at the camera. I'm just trying to focus on the putt. But par, still 4 down. Also, just in case you're wondering how far that Warrior skipped, pretty decent. On the bag here. Go Warrior. I mean, that's a pieced up shot right there. Let's take that. For some reason, I underestimate myself on these mid-range shots. I mean, I can throw a mid-range pretty decently. But here we go. This basket's a little lower, which kind of gets in my head a little bit sometimes, but let's just strike the pole. And you don't have to worry about it. That was not a stripe at all. That was a very good catch by the right side of the chains. But nonetheless, another birdie. Alrighty, so on to another beauty of a hole. Hole 13. It is kind of a pump. It is 334. Kind of goes uphill and then back downhill. Pretty tight tunnel shot. Most of the time I'm not birding this hole. I have kind of figured out a way to. But the way I kind of play it is just a straight, neutral mid-range. Kind of just play that straight down the gap, land on the left side, have a look at it. Sometimes this thing will turn over, sometimes it'll just hold straight and fade. Either way, I think that's a good play for me. Yeah, I mean that's hit the tree, which is a theme for today, but par at worst. So we hit this stump right here. Still got a little bit of work cut out for us. Like I said, this one I'm not birdieing every time, so I'm okay with parring it every time. We'll give it a nice gentle bid. Gentle. That wasn't gentle. That's a tester. Why not just something like that? That's safe. That's a tap in. But I like to try and make it a little bit harder on myself sometimes. Okie doke. So here's that little tap in. And then here is that little tester. I don't know if you can see it. I guess you can see me. I've been making these today. I don't know why I'm kind of stressing about it, but I guess it's because we're doing well and I don't want to take a bogey unnecessarily, but and there's the fluff. I'm always fluffing one every time. I talked it into truth. Do not count that. All right, and here we are on hole 14. To be honest, this is a pretty new hole. They just kind of modified it. I probably should have walked up there to kind of check out what they did. This was, and maybe still is, an incredibly hard birdie to get. It's a par 4, 700 feet. You kind of just need to lay the most perfect shot you can, somewhere in the middle down there, and then throw another really good shot to get in putting range. I know that they changed it slightly, so I guess we'll see what it looks like together. But for now, we're just going to try and go realm up this right side, have it push, have it fade. Hopefully we're in a decent spot. Okay. That's a little inside. That's going to take some work. What I should do is Old Faithful, the spear. It'll flip up a little bit. It'll still fade. Let's just see what that looks like. Pretty similar. Yeah, pretty similar. All right, so this is what we're left with. Like I said, you want to be probably 100 feet past where I'm at. So from here, I'm just going to try and get it somewhat in the middle of the fairway, and it's just a little poke and pray almost. So go Gateway Warrior, kind of flat to slight hyzer, and we'll see where we get. Okay. The first tree kick I was okay with. The second one, throw better shots, right? Okay, cool. So this is actually a really nice change. The basket is now right here on an elevated pin, perched up. Before it was much further down to the right. So I could still save a par. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's a nice change. I like it. So I'm going to go Devil Hawk. I'm going to try and aim for this tree on the right, let it fade in. Just like that. And we're pretty much right under the basket. So I see that they put another pad right here. It's not poured just yet, but another teeing area to make it. I guess this down here will be the long Beastway layout. Maybe this will be the short. But the other tee pad's still there, so maybe this will be. I'm not sure. Anyway, this looks like a fun shot, nice straight shot. Let's try it. Let's see what it looks like. I like this change. I think it's cool. All right. So being a new shot to me, I am not sure what to throw. It says 291, which I can dig. I almost feel like a Warlock would be good, but just to be safe, I think I'm gonna go Element. Kind of nice, hyzer flippy through the gap. And yeah, let's just try it out. Ooh. No idea what that looks like. A little higher than I meant to send it. But nonetheless, I think it'll play. Sometimes if you look, you can just answer your own question. So it looks like they will be moving this pad back there to where I just was. That'll be the short, and the one I just played will be the, or the one I played before that will be the long. Nice changes. This putt looks testy, so let's see. Yeah, the element, really good for first time playing this hole. Everybody loves a nice elevated basket tester. Nice and soft. The Devil Hawk up for the 4. I'll never know how to do these. So long par 4, got the 4. Short, got the birdie. Not sure which one to count. Alrighty, so hole 15. This one can make or ruin your round. It's a lesson I've learned a lot of times. Normally I try to juice a forehand down there. This is my safe play to get the par most of the time. Sometimes I still mess up. We're just gonna go element, we're gonna pump it straight and just take the par. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, we can live with that, we can live with that. But as you can see, this hole is very tight. You need to carry quite a bit. And if you mess up and go early or late, you're probably taking a bogey at best. More than likely a double, which is common. I think it's a very fine hole just to play for par, in my opinion. So here's the element. Still got some ways to go. We're just gonna go Warlock turnover. Try and get it close. Save par. Hold that. That's bad news bears. That is not good. That's better. I am not sure where my disc is, so hopefully you are in a good spot to see. Once we eventually find it. I undercommitted on that shot. I got it, it's down here. And unfortunately I just didn't get the turn right and it panned out and it went down here. This is a juicy putt for the par. I got branches on my head. I got to straddle a little bit. And that's like 50, maybe 60 feet. Anyway, par's cool. Bogey's not horrible. I've accepted that fact. Let's see if we can do something special. Yeah. One more. I feel like I could get that right. No. Sometimes when I try to jump, it throws my timing off entirely. And you get a little fluff putt like that. Anyway, bogey it is. So on to hole 16, this is very much a gauntlet. 15 being the one I consider the gauntlet hole. 16, honestly, it's really not that hard. I, for some reason, don't know what to do here. I've tried the little flip up around the right side, have it fade in. Most times I end up hitting this tree right in the middle. And for some reason, even if I try to go on this left side, somehow it gets kind of sneaky up there. I think it's really silly and it's not something I should try to count on. So I am going to hopelessly keep continuing this right side until we get it right. I'm gonna go gateway element. I'm gonna put a little bit of hyzer on it, hoping it flips and dives. Okay. There's that tree. And barely safe. Like I said, I don't understand this hole. I don't get it. Alright, so the element was centimeters from hitting the line. Kind of got that little tree kick. And here we go with a nice 50-foot elevated putt. But par's okay on this. I'd like a birdie, but don't we all? Oh, and that's gonna roll. Okay. Gave it a chance. Gave it a chance. I felt really good about it. But like I said, par ain't that bad. But man, a game of inches and centimeters, right? Alright, so we're finally here. Two of the hardest finishing holes in Charlotte, arguably. 17 is a par 4. Says it's only 536. The thing about that is, I believe that. It's just, you got to pick your landing spots perfectly. If you push a little too straight, there's OB. If you hug a little bit too left, you don't really have a good shot at the green. And the green always looks a lot further than it actually is. So, let's go realm. Let's pump her. Get some nice flip up and fade. Okay, so that is hugging the left side, and wow, that is actually freaking really good. That is hugging the right side. Something I never try to do, but when it usually goes over there, it ends up being okay. That was scary. There is OB all over there. Alright, so this is a fantastic spot to be. No sane person would actually try to hug this right side and land over here. OB is literally right here. So, that's a happy mistake. I'm gonna go Gateway Warlock, try and send it home. Try and give it a little height, and yeah, not too much height because there's a low ceiling up here. But that's okay. That's actually really good. Yeah, I love that. And boy, did we give it a run or what. So that went a little high. Higher than I meant, but still, gotta look at it. This is for birdie. Par is fine on this hole for me. And that's makeable. I mean, that's totally makeable. And I'll show you how. And I'll show you how. Alright, here we are, hole 18. I think it is not terribly difficult, and it's more just play your shots, and you should be able to take a 5 on this. I think a lot of people get in trouble by trying to get greedy. It is eagleable. I've even had a few chances myself, but honestly, I'm happy with a nice 4. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna go spear. I think it's better to stay straight than land on the left side. You be the judge of that. Yeah. That's primo. I could try to cross from there. I'll see what it looks like when I get up there. But that is a ideal spot to be. Alright, so here is where we ended up. It is calling for me to cross. I think the people want to see you cross. So we're going to try and cross. I got my realm. We're just going to try and pump it. Oh yeah, I think that's safe. Yeah. Pretty sure that's safe. Long eagle look. but that's good fun trying to cross that. All right, sometimes it does indeed pay to play. I have two thoughts in my brain. Houdini, try to spike it in like on a soft backhand, or I could try and putt at it. I am kind of enticed by the Houdini, maybe a baby flex. Like something like that. Oh. Alrighty, so here's what we have left for the birdie. I think that will put us at 6. I'll have to look. 6 down. Just like that. That's pretty good for me out here. I think that's pretty good for most out here, to be honest. I'm happy with that. I wish I could do that more frequently, but sometimes I just don't got it like that. But that is encouraging. I have been working on something new with my backhand. I've been trying to brace and swing, where beforehand I think I was kind of rushing through that and trying to play catch up, and having some inconsistent shots. Today I tried to put a little bit more pep in my step and a little bit more power on it. That'll be something I'm gonna have to like work with and try and tweak here and there. But overall, I felt pretty good about all my shots. Almost kind of have to relearn some of these discs now that I'm throwing with like what feels like more power. So that's always fun, forever a student. But thank you for tagging along and watching. Like, subscribe, share, or don't. I'm not making money off this. I'm just doing this for fun. So use my code McDonut at Gateway if you want to try any of these discs that I threw today. Wizards is always very popular. Warlocks, very slept on, very good throwers. And of course the Realm, that's our Destroyer clone. They're honestly super nice. I wish people would be willing to try those out more, but I get that people like their discs, and you know, what works for them works for them. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next one. Peace.